Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is Dr. Ghost and today I'm going to be giving you guys some new tips for newer players. I wouldn't say new tips, just tips for new players who are just starting out the game. Mainly the tips are going to be in battle, but a couple things I just want to mention before we go into battle is when you start out with this game, you're going to have a few levels you got to go through, but you'll eventually unlock commanders. This right here. When you first start, if you're brand spanking new, you're probably not going to have them, but later on you'll get them. And try to get the best commander you got, okay? There's a lot of commanders in this game. There's battleship commanders, there's cruiser commanders, there's destroyer commanders, and there are carrier commanders along with ship commanders that could be used for anything, like this guy here, George Dewey. Most of you guys are going to start out with just the regular ship commander. It can be used for anything. It's basically a universal commander. It can kind of be effective on any sort of build. You can use any commander you want on any ship, but certain commanders are better for certain types of ships and certain ships in general. So today we're in the Wyoming. It's a tier 3. Again, most of you are going to be starting out at tier 2, tier 3. You're going to be working your way up the tiers. My first advice for players, I mean, that was kind of my first, but second advice for new players, is play everything and understand stuff and pay attention to what's going on. Kind of read stuff and just look at your screen, guys. Situational awareness is so important, like just reading your screen and figuring out what consumables do. And also playing the tech trees. Go through and play a lot of the tech trees. Don't be afraid to branch out and try things out and try new tech trees and just mess around and figure stuff out. Experience this game. Don't just go around and just play one line, call it a day, and leave. Figure stuff out. That's what I did. I played a whole bunch of ships on all the lines. Okay, and when you do this, you develop an understanding of how everything works and what nations have certain gimmicks and stuff like that. And if you just pay attention, read your screen and all that, it's going to help in the long term and whatnot. Anyway, we're going to head into a battle and just show you. I'm going to do like a kind of a gameplay analysis, just my thinking on what I do and how I do everything. Again, I'm probably, I'm still a player at the end of the day. I could still get wrecked. You never know. But I'm going to kind of just give you guys a rundown of what I do. So we're on Polar. Again, first thing you always want to do is look at the top left. It tells you the map you're on, and it tells you the game mode. We're on Domination, so this is a capture game mode. It's got multiple caps. Okay, Domination has lots of caps, and when you have a cap in your control, basically you get a lot of points value. I think it's 3 points every 3 seconds, something like that. I could be wrong, but you get points, and points are very important. At lower tiers, not so much, especially in a battleship, because you're slow. Most of the battleships are slow, and again, when you play a lot of them, you'll figure that out. So usually, I leave the destroyers up to go into the Alpha cap, or the Bravo cap, and the Charlie cap, and they'll usually go out because they're faster and they're more concealed than your typical battleships in this game. So again, I'm not going to go into the cap. I'm a big, fat, slow battleship, and I'm not about that life. If I go into that cap, I'm probably going to get focused, I'm probably going to get fired at, I'm going to get torpedoed, and it's not going to be a good day. So I'm going to use my range, my 15-kilometer range, and notice that I'm already spotted. If you guys notice in the top left, that's the mini-map. Mini-map is so important. Look at that all the time. It shows you where your ship is, and it shows you where the enemy ships are when they're spotted, okay? Very important stuff to do. Now, I would not recommend doing what I'm doing, but it's low tiers, so it's not a big deal. A lot of small guns out there. So I'm gonna turn out, okay? I want to angle away, mainly because I just don't want to be the center of attention, so I'm turning away, angling my ship. I'm not just going to stay flat broadside. I'm going to take a little bit of damage there, but I'm not going to, stay flat broadside. I'm going to make sure I turn away because I don't want to push in and get wrecked. So at least we have an escape route. We can run away. And positioning is very important. Staying flat broadside is not good ever, because it makes you flat, which makes shells penetrate easier, especially big battleship guns like that Suvorov was sending at us. We also smacked him very hard in return, because he was just pretty much over-angling and broadsiding. But when you angle your ships, armor-piercing shells tend to ricochet. So, again, he's just selling flat broadside, so we have no problems penetrating him and getting decent amounts of chunk damage on him. And this is basically it. I'm just waiting for my guns to reload, and I'm firing them off, and doing bits of damage here and there when I can, and hoping that RNG is on my side. RNG is like luck, basically. I'm hoping that I get the luck to smack people around. This Kuma is just sitting here backing up, and he's dead. Another thing, too, you guys want to be doing, you guys are probably noticing I'm very fast when it comes to aiming, but most of you guys are just going to be aiming initially, probably setting them at that smokestack, but you guys don't want to be doing that. You want to be make sure you're kind of leading a little bit. Like, he's slow and he's coming at me, so putting my shots right on the bow there would be nice, because all those shells are going to land relatively around there. If I just put it center mass, like right here, then all my shells are going to land behind him. You actually got to put a little bit of leading in your shots, like this. Just like so. And, again, we're not getting the best results. Unfortunately, RNG was like, nope, you're going to miss most of your shells. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Now, notice that my team is not doing very good. We have no caps. The enemy has one cap. They're about to get a second cap if, you know, we let them, which I think we are, because our team's not doing very good, but it is tier 3. Most people at this tier are just learning the game, and they really don't have any clue on how to play, just like most of you guys who are starting out. It is what it is, and that's why we're at low tiers, because it's a perfect tier to learn the game and figure stuff out. So I'm not really mad if I lose this game. I am fully expecting to lose this game because it's low tier. A lot of people are new, and it's whatever. And unfortunately, judging by my destroyer player here and whatnot, he's probably a new player. He probably doesn't have any clue what he's doing, and that's okay. I expect that at lower tiers. At higher tiers, not so much. But as you guys can see, we led a little bit, aimed right at his nose, but he was angled away. So we were able to penetrate very nicely there and kill him. So that's what we want. But as you guys can see, in the top of the screen, unfortunately, my team has just all died, and again, like I said plenty of times already, it's to be expected, but I wish it wasn't my team that died like this, but hey, 5 minutes go by, the game's a blowout. It is what it is, but we still did decent in terms of damage for tier 3 standards and whatnot, and we're going to get some more here, hopefully, on this Von der Tann, which is a tier 3 German battleship that has pretty good guns, but... And again, I know these things. I know what the Von der Tann is all about because I've played it. I've played all these ships. So I know their capabilities. I know their armor. Like, again, I absolutely raked him because I aimed high. I know I can penetrate his bow there. He's got a lot of weak armor. And just like that, you guys just see... You guys can just see the amount of damage I'm getting. It's because I just know where to aim, and I've figured this stuff out over the past 5 years, okay? So, and that's what I encourage all of you guys to do. Just experience the game. Figure stuff out. Learn the game. Watch other videos on things. There's plenty of videos out there. Again, we aim high there because his bow has some armor there. It's an icebreaker, but up higher he has no armor really there, and our shells are big enough to penetrate the crap out of him, as you guys can see. And as you guys can also see, this little destroyer player is just latched onto me. Not really anything I can do about that. I hope he sends torpedoes at least. But, oh well. Anyway, Phoenix out here. I'm gonna take a shot at him. Because why not? I hope this V-170 gets his torpedoes off, because this guy might ram. If we ain't careful here. Come on, Wyoming, turn the boat! Oh, he missed the ram. He missed the ram, and he's taking torpedoes. Down he goes. Low tier weirdness, am I right? Holy smokes. Another shot out on that guy. And we absolutely wrecked him there. Getting a Citadel and a bunch of penetrations right through his nose. He did not have any fun. There's some torpedoes coming our way. We're slowing down. Unfortunately, we still take both of them. Not much we could have really done there. This walkie-talkie has some dangerous torpedoes, but little does he know, we've got dangerous guns. Just like so, we absolutely smack him. I'm hoping my secondaries can kill him, otherwise I'm dead to torpedoes. Come on. It just doesn't seem to be happening. I think all my secondaries are destroyed. Because they are not... Oh, nope, they're firing. Okay, my secondaries woke up. I don't think it matters, though, really.
Torpedoes, direct front.
Come on, load guns. Nope, he's dead. Okay. And I'm broadside to everything and everyone. This is funny because we're actually pulling this game back, kinda. But I don't think it's gonna be for long, because I'm on very little health. And this Ishizuki could definitely kill me here. But luckily, he seems to be a newer player, because he's shooting HE at me. So, I would have been dead most likely, but since he's not shooting AP for whatever reason, he's, yeah, not doing a lot. I forgot to mention that there's different shell types. Usually as a battleship, you want to be using AP. But sometimes HE can be nice, because you can set fires and do more damage in certain parts of the ship, but... HE is better generally for lightly armored targets, but AP is better if you want to do massive amounts of damage to a battleship or a cruiser. Unfortunately, though, we are dead. It was only a matter of time. But yeah, AP generally you want to be using on heavily armored targets, like battleships or even some cruisers, because cruisers have armor and they're easy to penetrate at this tier with the AP. And HE is better for shooting at lightly armored targets, because high explosive explodes on impact. The second a high explosive shell impacts a ship, it explodes. The difference between that and an AP shell is an AP shell explodes inside the ship. That could be a whole different topic for a different day. But usually, just a general rule of thumb, just use AP on everything except destroyers. Sometimes, though, you can get decent results and slap destroyers with the AP. It just comes down to playing the game a long time and figuring that stuff out. But not a bad little Wyoming game, despite losing the game. We had 1,000 XP on a loss. That really just goes to show how bad the team did. But again, I expect these things. It's low tier. So, yeah. And another bit of advice for newer players is don't sell your ships. Never, ever sell your ships. Play the game, figure stuff out in your own time, watch videos, and just enjoy the ride. Don't do anything drastic like sell your ships. Hopefully most of you don't even know how, but if you do figure it out, don't do it, because you only get like 50% of the ship's value back. It's never worth it. Keep them around, because you never know when you might play them again. Like now, I still occasionally come down to tier 3 and play my ships. I still play some of my tier 4s, some of my tier 5s. I'd never, at the beginning when I first started out this game, I made that mistake and sold ships. Don't do it when you starting out. Just a bit of pro player advice, if you will. Keep your ships around, because you never know when you might need them again. For bureau projects in here, which is like where you research stuff and ships and stuff like that. So just keep them around. You never know when you might need them again. It's the point of the game. World of Warships Legends. You're supposed to collect boats, play them, have fun, blah, 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 blah. If you keep selling your ships, you're not going to have a lot left over to play in the future and to potentially link and use for different things. So, anyway, I hope maybe some of you guys might have learned a little bit from this video. Kind of treat this game like when you're aiming, again, leading is super important, like we showcased earlier. Don't just aim right on the ship and just... because otherwise your shells are just going to fall backwards and go behind the ship. Like, each shell type and every gun in this game actually acts like a gun. You know what I mean? It's a gun. And in real life, think of how a gun is in real life, right? If you don't lead your target at like 1,000 feet or 4, 5, 6, 700 feet, usually that round is going to fall just behind your target. So do a little bit of leading and like I said, mess around, figure stuff out. And it can go a long way in your World of Warships Legends career. So anyway, hopefully some of you guys learned a little bit. Like I said a second ago, if you guys did, hit the like button, hit the sub button. If you guys are new, I do appreciate y'all. Y'all are awesome. And yeah, I'll catch you all on the next one. Yeah, World of Warships Legends. It's a great game. It just takes a lot of time to figure stuff out. So, yeah.